quite brutal and interesting. I'm not sure what story it has, if any. So there are things in here that are interesting. And alright, YouTube, we have another Switch game here to review, and it is called Butcher. It is a 2D action platformer with roguelike elements. It's quite brutal and interesting. I'm not sure what story it has, if any. So there are things in here that are interesting, and at first it took a little bit to warm up to as far as gameplay and aesthetics. But the more I got into it, it was interesting. I think that there are definitely people that will enjoy this, and even I really like it. So let's get into why you should check it out. In Butcher, there's a lot of action to be had in this game. There's a lot of ultra violence and gore in this. In the scale of a small 2D character, your cyborg character, it's the same scale as something as Terraria, I'd say, where the sprites are tiny, but they have quite a bit of detail as far as the effects that happen. You are equipped with a chainsaw. This is your melee weapon. You can also kick, and you'll have access to guns like shotguns, assault rifles, and flamethrowers as you go through the game, and pick them up from various spots in the level or from fallen enemy power-ups, essentially. And I have to say that when you're using these things, it's pretty visceral. The sound design for it is on point and matching with the theme of the game. Just hear the rev of the chainsaw and the effects of the enemy basically getting splattered all over the place, whether by bullet fire or by chainsaw, or environmental dangers that lurk in each corner of the level. It's quite something to listen to, and also to see it in 2D. It's just, oh wow, this is this is amusing. And like I said, it doesn't skimp on the action. There's a lot of it. There are roguelike elements to this game, where essentially you see the enemy first and you get them, then it's like it's fine. But if they see you, you have a chance to kind of duck and cover, but they will hunt for you, and it can be brutal because they do a lot of damage. So you're not quite this overpowered killing machine, but you're almost like a slasher sort of guy in a post-apocalyptic space prison dystopian future, where you see them and then they see you and they're immediately dead because you've got a shotgun blast to their face, or you got the chainsaw right into their chest. And that's the way it should be. That's how you would roll. This is the gameplay loop that you're going for, because if they see you, it's a lot harder to attack them or get close to them, because obviously they're aiming for you, and there'll be multiple enemies in this level. And so you want to minimize the amount of enemies that you have to go through, and this way you can get more ammo, because you do need to conserve some of it. As each level you progress through, you keep the ammo that you've gotten from the previous level and take it over to the next. And so if you start a level with nearly zero ammo, there's still a chance for you to progress through the game, but it's harder. You have to definitely try to get to an enemy and get their power-ups, and then be more conservative so that as you go through the stages, you won't be in a position where you're lacking ammunition. But there are some intense battle moments where essentially the game says, in order for you to progress, it's battle arena time. This is Thunderdome. One man enters and like multiple enemies come in, and you gotta wipe them all out before you can get through it. So it's fun. That part is intense. And the environmental dangers that you see in the game also, they're pretty much one-hit kills, but this is par for the course for different platformers. And in some roguelikes, where essentially, you have to pay attention to the different surroundings. I have to say that the themes of ultra violence that they have, and just this dark future where I'm not sure what humanity is doing, but they are armed to the teeth, and so you basically have to watch out for all the humans that are patrolling these levels. There is just some hilarious things where you're like, is that a spider robot that is essentially a spinning blade robot that just hangs around the walls, just going on this pattern, like sawing everything to death? And there's like these character mashers that you always see in like run and guns and different platformers, where smasher, a thing that comes down from the ceiling, is just pressing down and killing things, and there's an entire hallway of them, and there's a guy in some room that's just like, his duty is to just guard this switch. So if you get to him, then you can turn on the smashers and kill these other enemies. But it's just like, was this really necessary? Is this part of their, like, security defenses? They have like these smashers. It's it's funny when you think about it from a meta perspective, but it is present in a lot of different games. But this game, Butcher, leans in harder into it, and it's quite funny. I just find that there's some details where you find guys in this situation where they're guarding things, but there's like danger in every corner, and it's not even a nice place to, well, it's a dystopian evil future, so obviously it's not a nice place, but I'm just saying that this working environment is not safe. It's a very not safe workplace. But it's fun. I think that there's a lot of game here that you can enjoy, and the bonus more points for someone that's into these themes of grim, dark, death future, where there's monsters lurking around every corner, where the humans are armed to the teeth, but they're just dying everywhere, sort of thing. It's it's amusing. I can see this. This is definitely like, I'd say I give it a 7 out of 10. It's fun, and you can add it to your collection, and I think that you'll be happy with it, especially if you kind of are amused by these themes it's just like, wow, there's a lot of violence in this game. And it's I can imagine just a sci-fi horror-esque like movie to it, but it's just, I don't know, I just think of like Event Horizon movie / Jason future like thing, where he's like a slasher just destroying everyone, and then it's like all of these there aren't any demons or anything like that, so maybe horror is not appropriate, but it's just got a lot of violence to it, so, and gore, so I think that has some appeal for some people there. So yeah, try it out, and you'll find some game here to enjoy, and I think that it's pretty good. Talk to you guys later.